There's a reason 90% of educational community builders never get past 10K. And that's because they are trying to scale alone. There's no feedback, there is no outside perspective, and there is no accountability to keep us going. And if we want to go far, then we have to go together. But that is not enough to win on Skool. Because last year I joined a team where we didn't make any progress. And even though it was amazing working with everyone, and I'm still connected with many of the people from that team, we didn't have any of the best practices to follow, and there was no system to hold us accountable. And that is something that I had to develop by working with some of the best players on Skool. I'm Luke, the networking wizard, and I was working with Goose specifically on helping him create some ads. So this was us being like right outside here. He stayed at my place for a week, which was tons of fun. And I also helped Andrew Kirby with the synthesizer community, and we got together to the discovery rank of number 2 in the money category. And then also helping Aiden Lebrache with synthesizer scaling, where we helped the first cohort make 3 million collectively. And from each of these communities and from learning from these people specifically, I was able to take the different systems and turn them more into a multiplayer aspect. We're going to cover specifically the team, the theory, and the practice, because these are all aspects that help us work together. So the team is pretty obvious. We need people that we're working with. And this is a little bit like forming our own mini alliance. These are the people who help us, and some of them maybe like working in marketing, and I call them knights. And then we have the ninjas who are working in sales, and the wizards who are more in the operations side. And here you also see my team. So currently working with Sophia and Evan, and together we are able to achieve much more than what we could do individually. And it doesn't matter what you're working on if it's with the right people, because once you have the right people, then like all the work automatically becomes fun because it's with the right people. And next week we're going to dive even deeper into that, so I can show you who to look for and how to actually build a team that is helping you scale. The second aspect, because like just having a team isn't enough. So that's why we also need the right theory. And this is something that I developed while specifically working for synthesizer scaling. And in there, I learned everything and like the best practices about marketing, sales, and operations. So I was a little bit like Obi-Wan here in the background, while Andrew and Aiden were Qui-Gon Jinn here in the front. And we were specifically covering these different aspects on how to attract like a knight, and specifically going in the niche, and how to do the attraction, and how to create content. And all of these will probably become videos for the future, because as you can see, we can open them up and there is like so much more in there. I just want to give a general overview on the theory that is required to have a well-running business, because at least one person in the team should have a solid understanding across all of these different aspects and the theory. As long as one person has the theory, then we're good to go and we can rely on each other, but we still need to have certain things in place that we say this is the standard operating procedure for operations, for example, for doing the onboarding. So if we have the team and if we have the theory and the best practices, then the last thing is just actually doing the work, which is where we are getting to the practice. And in here, it's a little bit like having our own spaceship, which is still loading. We need different systems to manage our content, to manage our sales activities, and to manage our projects. And being able to like see, oh, these are all of the content pieces that are happening this week. There's the spaceship. So this is kind of like what we're building and like what we need to use. And if everyone knows this is the content that we are creating, then we're able to give each other feedback on that. And we see how to support one another and how to maybe use the content during a sales conversation. And then seeing like, okay, these are all the calls that are happening. And the same thing with the projects, like these are the projects that are currently happening. And by having everything in one place, and having like specific systems that show us who is working on what allows us to properly navigate this spaceship. And if we also know what we're doing in our specific roles, then we have everything that we need from the theory, from the practice, from the people who are working with us. And with all of these pieces enabled, we are able to do so much more because we are not alone anymore. We know what is working, and we can practice so we can actually scale. So next time I'm gonna break down exactly how to like find and build your team, and now we're going to networking. So we already have the gather space open, and feel free to join that if you're watching this live. I'm gonna share that screen, and I'll see you guys in the community. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Bye bye.
But excellent photographs are still the domain of very skilled, highly specialized people, right? Like real made images. And I think that we're going to see that more and more. So I think what it is the bar is going to be raised for the high value commodities, right? And I think the same is going to be true for education, information, service, like everything we do. Like I love, because I'm a university professor and I use AI a lot, but I'm the exception. A lot of my people think it's coming for their jobs, and I'm like, nah. If you don't learn how to use this thing as a tool right now, you're going to become extinct. Like as a
Something that I want to like nail from also Mario, what you mentioned on, I'm afraid at the point where I become obsolete. Like where the advantage of having, because like there's a difference between I'm using AI and then just what you mentioned is like an AI that I can think with is going to be so much better at helping me create anything over an AI where I need to like speak even, right? Because we can think so much more than we can speak.
Comic book series and animated series since I was 8 years old. And for many years, I was like putting my pencil to paper, drawing, and getting comfortable in that skill set. And then once AI came out, a little bit around that time, that's when I started shifting to sales because I was like, all right, well, I feel that I can communicate very well with people. And I, in some ways, feel like my art is going to be obsolete because it can just easily be generated in 30 seconds. Someone can create something that it would have taken me 2 weeks for. So it's like I've had riffs with that kind of perspective for many years now. But as of
models, as far as like the mathematics community is concerned, it's
Which is
like
great.
we're never going to get anywhere past what we're doing now. That's never going to get us to AGI. And so like all the mathematicians I know, and because I've been in data science for 20 years or whatever.
Yep.
um yeah, I mean, like 5-7 years ago we like went back to the drawing board, and they're taking all the same technology, but we're doing it all geometrically now, just based figuring out the elements of reality, and letting the AI kind of recreate our human experience, and see these patterns, and it's like, oh shoot.
So about kind of when you said like us becoming like more and more evolved and like becoming somewhat of gods, like another, I would say, perspective to that is like, do we even want that? For what reason would you want to basically be in control or like manage the food chain, like you said? Like, for if we link that back to stories, when I was reading Mistborn, I would not want to be the hero of ages at all. Like, I would want to live in a world that is created by the hero of ages, by the good one, but I would not want to be that. So I would want to live the human experience, or like what will evolve to be maybe a more, again, evolved human experience, but not something entirely different. So that's like another perspective on that. Mari?
Okay, that's very interesting that you added that. And thank you again, Lucas, for recommending Mistborn. I'm on book 4 as of this morning. So, I was binging, dog. Every like conceivable moment I could read the book, well, listen to it, I was listening to it. And Sazed is my favorite character,
He's so
without a doubt. Yeah, so good. Yeah, Sazed and then Vin for me. But